Hey guys, Giggity back with another video on the channel, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down the MLB 9-game slate, I believe it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Oh, it might be a little bit more, hold on. It goes all the way to the 2 o'clock. I'm a little slow, I thought I had this already. MLB 11-game slate today. I thought it was 9. When's the 9-game slate? 9-game slate's tomorrow. Got it. 11-game slate today for Sunday, July 26th, 2020. This one goes through the 235 games. So go ahead, sit down, break this one down for you guys, see what, it is a little bit later on, I apologize. This video should be out for about 2 hours when it's relevant, so that kind of sucks, but whatever. We're going to go ahead and break down the video real quick. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz. Go ahead and follow, go ahead and check out the Tilted DFS a website. They have a lot of good content for CSGO, MLB, NBA, NFL, PGA, and UFC, all for free. Go ahead and check them out. Link in the description below. I'm actually one of the content creators for it, so go show them some love. We actually got to our record amount of views yesterday, so that was pretty cool. I think we got up to like 2,000 views yesterday. So go ahead, check it out, help us grow. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the slate. We'll start off with the Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies. They'll have Vince Velasquez. Is it Vince Velasquez or I don't remember all the names. But yeah, Vince Velasquez. I was right. All right. Starting for the Philadelphia Phillies today, and starting for Miami is, where is it? They just had it up. Hold on. Jose Urana. So it's a $5,500 pitcher versus a $6,900 pitcher. Velasquez is the $6,900. I'm okay with getting to a little bit of him today as a value play, because there's really not much value plays today, considering that a lot of these guys are potentially just openers. So going to Velasquez might be a interesting contrarian play to go, even though he is going up against the Miami, so he might draw a little bit of chalk. He strikes out about 25% of his batters, and if you go ahead and look at the Miami hitters, not a lot of good ISOs against right-handed pitchers, all under 200 besides Anderson, which has 207, and then Dickerson, which is a left-handed hitter, at 274. So I'm not sure if I'm not going to get to that much Miami today. Dickerson's probably going to be in a bunch of one-offs for me, and that's about it. I might get to a little bit of Velasquez, but for the most part, Velasquez is probably going to be the better play here than trying to go after the Miami Bats. So Velasquez, Dickerson, that's pretty much it for this game, for this side. On the Philadelphia hitters side, going up against Urana, I like the Philadelphia Phillies today. I think they're going to be a little bit chalky again because they're going up against Miami, so they're probably going to draw about 9-10% ownership each. But I am okay with going to the top 5 hitters for the Philadelphia Phillies today. McCutchen, Hoskins, Harper, Real Muto, all of them are really good options today for me. Might get to about 7-8% Philadelphia stacks out of all of my stacks today. Out of the 150 lineups I'm going to build. Moving on to the Washington Nationals and the New York Yankees, and for this one, don't go after Green. Green is going to be a opener. If you're going to go after a pitcher for the Yankees, you're going to want to go after, let's see if I could find him here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. Lasiga, because he's going to be the long reliever today, but he is priced up at $7,000 against a really good Washington Nationals team. So I'm going to fade all Yankee hitters, all Yankee pitchers today. even though he does get about 26% strikeouts, I'm still not interested. I'd rather be going after the bats in Washington. Turner, Eaton, Castro, Hendricks, Thames. I'm good with going to all of them. Yan Gomes is going to be a decent option for catcher. I do like going there as well. I don't really get to as much as the bottom of the order as I probably should, but Cabrera is definitely an okay option today against the Yankee pitchers. For the Yankee Bats, I don't think they're going to be as chalky today, so I'm actually okay with going towards Yankee Bats. They're going up against Patrick Corbin, which is going to be your third most expensive pitcher on the slate. So maybe the contrarian way to go is the Yankee side, just because they're going up against an expensive pitcher. So a lot of people are going to see that and going to want to go towards Corbin and not really go towards the Yankee Bats. Obviously, I could be totally off, but I actually am a big fan of going towards the Yankees today. LeMahieu, Judge, Torres, Stanton, Hicks, and then getting to Sanchez as my catcher is a very, very nice option for me. I'm definitely interested in going to New York. Corbin, I am going to get some Corbin today. He gets about 28% strikeout rate. So I am going to get to some Corbin today, but there's other pitching options like Greinke, like Kluber, like Bauer that I like a little bit more. Even like Carrasco at 8,600, I like a little bit more than Corbin. Moving on to the which one I just click on? Toronto Blue Jays and Tampa Bay Rays. You're going to get Blake Snell at 10-7 versus Hatch at 4K for the Blue Jays. I'm not interested in Hatch. Even though he is a 4K option, the bats on Tampa Bay are too good. I am a little bit interested in Blake Snell. I'm going to get to a little of them. I might get to like 5-6% of him. I'd rather go to Greinke, rather go to Kluber, rather go to Bauer and Carrasco. But Blake Snell is a decent option. He strikes out about a third of his batters, which is crazy. He gets about one strikeout every inning. But going up against the Toronto Blue Jays, Snell might actually be a halfway decent option because the strikeout rates on the Toronto batters are actually quite high. But I do like going towards the Toronto bats as well. I think this is a game I'm going to get a lot of exposure to just because Toronto bats are pretty strong. Snell is pretty strong, so I'm going to get to a little bit of both sides. Hatch, I think, is making his pitching MLB debut today. And I think that he might be an okay option at 4K. I'm just not getting too much of him. I'd rather get to the Tampa Bay hitters, even though they might be a little bit more chalkier because they're going up against a player that's never started in the MLB before. But I'm okay with going towards the Tampa Bay hitters rather than Hatch. I might get Hatch in about 5% of my lineups just as salary savers so I can pay up for other bigger options. Next game is the Detroit and Cincinnati game, where you're going to get Turnbull on the mound for Detroit, and for Cincinnati you're going to get Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer is going to definitely be higher owned today, so maybe a contrarian play is to go towards the Detroit hitters. It sounds crazy, but they're probably not going to be too high owned. Their ISOs are horrible, but they're probably going to be around 1 to 2% owned each. That's a very inclining play for me to try to get maybe 5% Detroit stacks and be 3 times the field on them. I feel like Detroit could be a decent leverage spot for today, especially going up against Trevor Bauer, who's probably going to be the most owned pitcher on the slate, I would have to say. Because he's going up against Detroit. Trevor Bauer, on the other hand, 27% strikeout rate. He is a very, very good pitcher. The only reason I wouldn't go to him as much today is because of ownership. but I definitely am going to get to some Trevor Bauer today. On the other side, Cincinnati is going to be very chalky. So I might try to fade Cincinnati a little bit today. I might not get to as much as I would normally get to, but I do think the Cincinnati stack is quite solid. Winker, Votto, Suarez, Moustakas, Castellanos. You're going to get all of them at pretty high ownership, though. I do like getting to them. Maybe even getting to some Turnbull at, what is he at, 7K? Turnbull, 7.1K is actually a decent leverage spot for me today. I'm all right with going to Detroit. You never know in a 60-game season or in a baseball game in general what will happen. Baltimore won yesterday against the Red Sox 7-2, so anything's possible. I'm all right with going the Detroit route as well today. Moving on to the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland Indians. You're going to get Molanos on the mound for the Kansas City Royals. He is not priced yet. Okay, you're not going to see him on... Oh, no, you're going to be able to. Hold on. Let's find his exact price because they actually just scratched... Oh no, Montgomery is starting. Then why do they have Bolanos in? Montgomery is starting today for the Cleveland Indians, for the Kansas City Royals. So, I don't know why they told me otherwise. Oh, expect Montgomery, which I am getting to none of. I hate Montgomery. I hate going to Montgomery. He was one of those pitchers last year that you went to a bunch and he never really did good for you. He was always chalky, never was successful. I'm going and getting some Cleveland today. They're probably going to be one of my higher owned stacks of the day. Just because Montgomery is not a good pitcher. Going on to the Kansas City side, they are going, the pitcher for Cleveland is Carrasco. So I'm going to be more interested in going towards Carrasco than towards the Kansas City hitters. I'm going to get to a little bit of Kansas City, not a lot. They're just not that high of numbers, and I'm not really too interested in Kansas City. Moving on to Baltimore and Boston. You're going to have Weber going for Boston, which do not go after Weber. He's mostly just an opener, so I'm not going to be too interested in going there at all. He doesn't really go past 2 innings. Let's look. Last 10 games. You're going to look. Innings pitch. Yeah, he's mostly an opener. Do not go after him. He is not going to be a solid choice for you. That being the case, Boston Bats and Baltimore Bats, I am quite okay with getting to. Baltimore is starting LeBlanc today, which is at 6K, which is not a good... I'm going to get to a bunch of hitters on both sides. Even though Boston's going to be a little bit chalky like usual, I am going to get to a little bit of Boston and a little bit of Baltimore. I'm not getting to these pitchers. Probably going to X both of them out of my player pool altogether. I'd rather get to the hitters in this game. Martinez, Bogarts, Devers, and Pilar are going to be my top ones from this game. Benintendi is going to be an interesting choice. I'd rather get to a 2 through 6 stack than getting Benintendi in there, especially going up against a left-handed pitcher. Now on to the 2 o'clock games. We got 5 games left on the slate. And first one's going to be Seattle and Houston. You're going to get Kikuchi going for Seattle, which is going to be $5,400. And then you get the most expensive pitcher on the slate in Zach Greinke for Houston. I am going to be aiming towards a little bit of Houston today just because they're going up against Kikuchi. He strikes out 16.1%. He walks about 7% of his batters. He's just he's not that good of a pitcher. And I'm going to be aiming towards the Houston hitters. Springer, Altuve, Bregman, Brantley, Gurriel, Correa. I'm okay with going through all 6 of those guys and just getting a nice stack of nice amount of Houston today. On the contrary, I will be getting to some Seattle. Going up against Zach Greinke, that could be a decent leverage spot to go towards a couple, not a lot, a couple of the Seattle players just for a little bit of leverage. They're probably going to be anywhere from 1 to 2% owned. So once again, if I can get 4% and be double the field on them, that will be okay for me. Getting to a little bit, nothing too crazy. Zach Greinke is a really, really good pitcher. At 10.9, he's got to be. That's up towards Jacob deGrom prices. So he is the best pitcher on the slate. Going to get to a little bit of him, but ultimately, Houston Bats are going to be the big one for this game. Minnesota and Chicago, this is going to be another one of those games where you're aiming towards the hitters and hitters only. For me, at least. You got Kenta Maeda for Minnesota, and you got Ronaldo Lopez for the White Sox. Get to a lot of hitting, get to a lot of game stacks for this one. It's going to be my highest exposed game by far for the hitters and hitters only. I'm not going towards the pitchers. The pitchers do not have good stats. I'd rather get to more Minnesota than Chicago, but I'm fine with getting to a lot of both of these teams. Kepler, Donaldson, Polanco, Cruz, Rosario, and Garver. I'm good with getting to all those guys. And I'd probably be about 10 to 15% of my stacks today are going to come from this game. Anderson, Mancada, Abreu, Grandal, Encarnacion, Jimenez. Even going down to some of these guys, I'm okay with getting everything in this game besides pitching. Don't go towards pitching for this one, for me at least. Got 3 games left, I believe. St. Louis versus Pittsburgh. And for this one, you're going to get Dakota Hudson, for St. Louis, and you're going to get Keller for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Sorry, when I look over, and I have another monitor on this side of me. So whenever I look over, I have this on here, which has all the pitchers and how much they are. So that's why I keep looking over. Anyways, another game where I'm all right with getting to a little bit of Mitch Keller. I think that at 8,000, he's going to be a all right price. He strikes out about 29-ish% of his batters that he faces. I'm okay with getting to a little bit of Mitch Keller. I'm going to actually go away from St. Louis hitters. They had 2 big games in a row, so I don't see 3. So I'm going to just start fading St. Louis a little bit just for leverage. I feel like St. Louis is going to be pretty popular after putting up like 8 and 9 runs the last 2 games. So I'd be more in favor of the Pittsburgh hitters today, going up against Dakota Hudson. I'm cool with Frazier, Reynolds, Bell, Moran, and Evans, and Acuna. I'm good at getting up to all these guys. I feel like Pittsburgh's going to be like 2 to 3% owned, so I might get to like 5 or 6. Just get a little bit of leverage on the field. I do like Pittsburgh today over St. Louis. Moving on to Chicago Cubs and Milwaukee Brewers. I was right on Milwaukee yesterday, and I don't know if I'm going back to them. The pitchers today, you got Peralta going for the Milwaukee Brewers. And for Chicago, you got Chatwood. So, yeah, I'm going to go right back to Milwaukee today. Chatwood is not a good pitcher. He is priced up at $4,900 today. So, I am going towards these Milwaukee Bats. Sogar, Yelich, Hira, Smock, Braun. I'm going back to all of them. I'm even going to get some of Navarro and Kane in the 7 and 8 holes. I'm getting to a bunch of Milwaukee today. I have a feeling they're going to have another nice game like they did yesterday. On the other side, I am going to get some Chicago bats as well, going up against Peralta. Peralta does strike out 30% of his batters, so I'm going to get, I like him a little bit, but I'm going to aim more towards Bryant, Rizzo, Baez, Schwarber, Contreras, Hayward, Caratini. I'm heading to 1 through 7 in that order, a decent amount. So getting a lot of bats, not as much as the not as much as the other Chicago game, but the White Sox and Minnesota. But I am going to get to a decent amount of bats here as well. I'm not aiming towards any of the pitchers on that side. Final game of this slate is the Texas Rangers and the Colorado Rockies, where you'll get Kluber going for the Texas Rangers at 10-3. And on the other side, Colorado is going to be throwing out Freeland at $4,700. Give me a bunch of Texas bats. Give me everybody. Give me 1 through 7. Texas is going to be another really nice stack today. Especially in a hitters-friendly park going up against Freeland, who gives up he does a lot of ground balls, but he does get a lot of fly balls, which in Texas could be pretty beneficial for the hitters. So I'm getting to a bunch of Texas. I'm not getting to as much Colorado because I do indeed like Kluber today as another one of your high-priced pitchers. I'm totally cool with getting to a bunch of them. Even the ISOs on Colorado are going to be inflated because they do play in Coors a lot, so don't really mind those numbers at all. I'm going to get to a little bit, but I like Kluber a little bit more than that. But that's going to pretty much do it for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, everything. Go check out Tilted DFS. Links in the description below. And until next time, peace out, guys.